Hello, just an update on the Musty challenge, which I said I was going to take part in. Yeah, as I think I said before, there's I've bent the criteria slightly. There's not much hammer about this, but these figures are certainly old. I've explained before, I found these in the garage, and I must have bought these in the 1980s, very late 80s probably. So they're 30 years old. So they're definitely old. No hammer, but they're definitely old. Yeah, so I as it's shown in the previous video, I've done a very poor paint job on them when I was much younger, and I managed to strip the paint off and start again, hopefully doing them a bit of justice. These were, I'm pretty sure these are Essex figures, so I think they're probably 25mm really, but I've put them up against my 28s and they don't come up too badly actually, so I think they're broadly compatible. I'm prepared to use them anyway. So yeah, enjoyed doing these. I've got just a standard officer there. He'll be a character for my sharp practice games, and you can use a musician as well. So we've got that guy there. I think, to be fair, his size is, drummers. We talk about drummer boys, they're often younger, smaller, so I don't think his size is a problem. As I say, I've checked him out against the other figures and he doesn't look too bad. It's certainly usable. The other two guys there at the back, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with those yet. I think I'm probably going to put them on a command base. I've got a command base, or serve as a deployment point for sharp practice. I've got a couple of mounted officers. I've got one who's sitting there looks like he's reading a map. So I think if I put him on a base with those two guys, they could look like they're having a bit of a conflab. That might work quite well. So yeah, it was really good to do these actually. I'd never stripped figures before, so I was quite interested to do that as well. I've seen loads of videos about it, and there seems to be lots of different opinions about how to do it. I was quite keen to try some sort of methylated spirits, which seemed to be or Dettol seemed to be the two favoured options, but I didn't have either of those lying around the house, and in current circumstances I didn't think it justified a trip out just to try and get something like that. So I just had a look around the garage to see what I'd got, and I'd got a bottle of paintbrush cleaner for sort of getting gloss paints out of brushes. So I figured if it can get gloss paint out of a brush, it can probably strip a figure down quite nicely, and fair play, it did. So it was very straightforward. If you've not tried it before, I've been a bit worried about it, nervous of doing it for a while. I fancied having a go, but never quite sure how it would work. But it worked really well. I'll stick a still up of the stuff I used, and then maybe a couple of photos of the stripped down figures as well, so you can see. Didn't get absolutely everything off. A few nooks and crannies I struggled with, but basically it got 95% of the paint off, I'd say. And got it down to a really nice clean metal, which is painted up really well. All I did with the stuff, I put them in a little bath of, put them in a little pot of the paintbrush remover. It was probably in there for the best part of a week, to be fair. And then took them out and just scrubbed them with an old toothbrush. Make sure it is an old toothbrush, obviously, or if you haven't got an old one, don't use your own, use your wife's, I would recommend. But fortunately I did have an old toothbrush lying around, so I used that, and yeah, cleaned up alright. And so I'll put some stills up at the end of this stuff so you can see what I used. But yeah, I'd be up for doing that again. The only thing I would say, these are metal figures, not plastic, so I didn't try the stuff on plastic. So if you're going to do it on plastic figures, just maybe do a test one first, just to make sure it doesn't do anything odd to the plastic. But yeah, on metal figures, great success. So yeah, bit of a waffle there about nothing of any great consequence probably, but yeah, so it's only 4 figures, so it wasn't the greatest challenge in the world, but it was really nice to bring these up to date and say do them a bit of justice after all that time, hopefully. And I can now start using them in a game. So yeah, so thanks very much to Palmer and Rusty for organising. Yeah, really enjoyed taking part in this. I've looked at it in the past, I must admit, and as I said before, I've got nothing Games Workshop-y or 40k whatsoever, so I wasn't sure it was something I could really join in on. But once I got the message that it doesn't really matter what you're painting, and as I say, these are at least old, if not hammer, so yeah, it's good to do. So yeah, look forward to seeing everybody else's efforts. As I say, as always, thanks very much for watching, subscribing. Get your videos coming. I'll keep watching and subscribing as well, and yeah, look forward to seeing what you're doing. Thanks very much. Take care.